My name is Rana Cummins, and I'm going to do my questions to answers interview in this video. So I'm going to say the question, or I'm going to type the questions right here, and I'm going to say the answers of what I think of how I thought them. So let's get started. Right. Question number 1. The strengths will be making UI, UX designs, illustration, logos, and much more like marketing, advertising. The weaknesses would be like the 3D models or the elements of it, some coding, a lot of it's coding, animation, maybe some other marketing or advertising, like trying to make something for like an item, like say a water bottle or maybe even a Reese's cup. Question number 2. In 5 years, I see myself as a UI or UX designer at first, and making marketing designs with clients, or even in a job opportunity at first, and then I go into more freelancing. I would also want to start with coding so I can learn more about the UI and UX field designs more than I already know, because that kind of seemed interesting to me. In 10 years, I want to be an actual freelancer that I do UI and UX designs for my clients, making stationery, stickers, making illustrations, webcomics, animations, and probably more to come later on. Question number 3. I can offer to be flexible with how I work from different hours of the day, and I time manage myself so projects can be done on time. Question number 4. Through my life, I learned 4 instruments fully for marching band, concert, and jazz. They wanted me to keep learning more instruments to help with them. And I was gonna learn, I think it was 2 more if they ever needed help with different instruments along the line. But I am learning guitar as well that I'm picking up. Number 5. Whenever I make a mistake in my designs, I break it down to the layers and change it. I do make different mock-ups to see how other designs options are going to be. Like, I don't always stick to like one design here. I'll have different mock-ups to see where it could have went and how it could have been be. Number 6. My dream job is a graphic designer, illustrator, or even animation. I love everything about this area of life. I always loved drawing since I was a little kid. I thought it was just a hobby because I never took it seriously, like I always just do self-taught. So now it's becoming a dream of mine. I like it. Number 7. My resume talks about my skills, of what softwares that I use, what other skills that I have, and what languages I can speak. Number 8. I can handle them in calm manner to where it can be worked out. Everyone must be on a clear head before it gets discussed on. Because having like a difficult situation to where someone is not clear, someone's not precise, someone's not maybe like simplest form, so it's not overly complex to where it can make the situation a lot more difficult is not always great. But having them be more simple, precise, clear, and non-judgmental, that can help someone handle a situation a lot better. Number 9, I'm a fast learner, well-rounded with knowing new skills, and very flexible with my times. Number 10, I would talk in a calm manner, talk them in a private area so they can calm down. Then I would ask them questions to what they were saying. I mean, no customer wants to be yelling at a store or on other people trying to ask them to calm down. I mean, some do that, and you might ask them, talk to them somewhere else, talk to them maybe in a different aisle, or even talk to them outside before they come back inside to continue, so they do not cause disruption in any office companies, or I guess it would also be maybe factories, it could be called. Number 11, the design that I went above and beyond was a flip book design about a zoo of a panda mama and her cub. It was an animation movement of 100 note cards. This assignment took day and night to do. I was so tired on that whole week. It was one of my favorite animations since this was my first ever animation. Where what I did was the mama panda was rocking her baby back and forth, and then she carried her in her mouth, walked over, grabbed some food, fed it, and then she grabbed the cub in her mouth, walked back, and then the cub was rocking, the mama was rocking her, and then the cub went on top of her at the ending, like a hug, like holding her. It was such a different type of animation because you have to find each little how they move, and it can't be like so much staggered where it looks like glitches, like how computer glitches might be, like pop here, pop here, pop here. So I had to figure out how the movement of the pandas were making how they look, and how maybe like the mama would be with her cub in that kind of situation of moving. But that was such a fun animation design. Number 12, one of my biggest failures was a prototype about a business with an Amish store that was local to me. They didn't use social media or new technology since that's how their culture is. Their culture is very, old fashioned, like pilgrim area where they use diesel instead of electric. But there's some foundations, like other people in different names, that do use electric at times, but not fully, like how we would. They did not use social media or what. I wanted to be creative and outside the box. I wanted to see how they would if they had one, or let somebody else, like a designer, ask them if they want to do it, and have that kind of client to designer amigo without them being like totally focused with it and still be in their culture. Number 13, there are different ways to motivate me. I get motivated by other people, quotes, learning new things that I like on my friends and family. Number 14, I can handle pressure on some topics and actions. I can handle different ones on designs and marketing topics. The topics that can be harder, but I can manage are the social communications and connecting with others. Number 15, my hobbies include drawing, crocheting, watching movies, TV shows, playing instruments, baking, gaming, watching anime, or even learning languages, which I am learning. Let's see here. I am fluent in English. I am intermediate in Spanish. And I am beginners in Japanese, Korean, Chinese, and Arabic. But I want to increase those levels up more and learn more languages as I go along further in my life. Number 16, my leadership experiences is from being in marching band and in Girl Scouts. In marching band, I helped the freshmen learn how to march, kept everyone on time, like, saying out 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, and kept the clock on different activities that we had, since not a lot of people wear watches so much in band. So I always have a watch, and I try to make sure everything was on the dot in a way. Or even if they want to ask me, how long have we been doing it for? In Girl Scouts, I kept everyone quiet so we can listen. When we went to camp, we had to help the younger kids, so I got to involve in some of the activities and made them feel safe as well. I try to make sure everyone is included and everyone had a fun time. Number 17, I like about this industry is to be designing for people, learning about different techniques, and connecting with everyone. The least that I like about the industries is some of the softwares that can be tricky, and then we have to figure it out at times. I mean, I know that no softwares are easy, because the one software that is still giving me troubles at times are like 3D, Dimension, and Illustrator. It's weird how I say that, but I guess I don't use them as often as I should be. But I'm learning to use them more often to where I actually will like them. Number 18, I am most comfortable with using Photoshop, InDesign, Adobe XD, and Dimension. Which Dimension is one of those that I'm not great with, but I can use it on simple stuff like making book spines, making simple items with designs as well. I do use Illustrator sometimes, but I can use it more as I can work on. But I would just need to practice with it a lot more as I go throughout my years as a designer. Number 19, the software that I know best is Photoshop and Adobe XD. The one that I need to improve is Illustrator. Number 20, besides that, they need to be creative in their designs so they can improve designs and work with clients. They can understand them for better designs. Number 21, I can design what people tell me if they need to be specific, like how the colors, themes, or even characters might be. Like different sets of like a mascot in a way. So if they tell me like, oh yeah, the mascot's gonna be a lion, orange red, with some kind of like item on them, like a scarf or something, then I can do that being very specific. I can maybe go outside of it and make it more in different styles to see how the customer will like it. 22. I do handle criticism and I use the feedback in my designs to make sure they're right on code. Because nobody wants a really bad design and they think they're the best of all, because everyone needs some kind of criticism or feedback in their work. 23. I will sketch my designs by hand on paper or on Photoshop's canvas as well. I try to sketch my designs since I need to find layers, layouts, colors before the final. The final might not end how I like it if I do not sketch the designs first. Some designs can be okay without the sketchings at times. Like very simple things like a circle with words in it. Unless I need to do it in different typograph. But most designs, I try to do them on Photoshop, like the artboards, or even do it by hand, depending on how I feel about the sketch and which one I like to use. 24. Each design has its own guide, as I see in sketches. Some designs can be up to 5 sketches on a quick schedule, but some designs are 15 to 24 or more for that type of design. Most sketches means the clients can see more, then they break it down to what they like from there, which means I always see if you give them like 15 or more, that means they can pick a few and then we can take them more into roughs or a final editing of that sketch to bring them closer to what they want at the end result. 25. The design would take me some time to get done. It would not take longer than a week since I do not want to rush it. So it will take me longer than a week because a week would be too short for a 30 by 40 banner. But that would just be rushing it to anyone. Maybe some people can do it, but they have to work like all day and all night to get it done. But for my designs, it would take longer than a week, maybe like a week and a half or even 2 weeks if I give myself enough time. But if somebody needs it more quicker, then it can be like a week and a half. 26. I do know some online marketing, but I do not know much about newspapers. I know some things about the online marketing because I use social media so much. I see so many marketing areas like Facebook marketing, Instagram marketing, even TikTok marketing. But with newspapers, I know a few things going on to it, like maybe some of the like the images that might be there, maybe some fonts, maybe how they do it, but I do not know the making of one or how their setups or always going to be. 27. With strict parameters does not stiffen my creativity. It can bring more of a character, but designs live for challenges, or designers live for challenges, which bring their creativity more. So sticking to the requirements, sometimes it can bring more of a boost in creativity because it brings challenges. 28. I still look at what the clients said to me on what they want, even without so much of instructions. There are some historicals of what the clients want, even if it's their old style of colors, but not instructions but no instructions can also mean go basic and simple, so more designers or designs can come to edit to the client's own design for them. So like some clients don't always give you instructions because they want to see what you think it can be like. But sometimes if you take it from that direction, they don't always like it. So we have to roll back and say, okay, so I can't do it overwhelming my design, but let's take it more simplified and no instructions design to make it more to their brand and easy for other customers to read it or to see it. 29. I plan them with getting research or inspirations for that design. Then I use that to get some ideas out, as in colors, shapes, layouts, or even simple text can also help. Like, I try to make sure I do research on a design part. Like, if I'm doing something for Nintendo, what are their basic colors? What are their, like, the most popular games known to person? What are their most mascot? If there's a mascot, who would it be? Which would be some of the characters, like Pokemon, Zelda, Mario, or Animal Crossing, like Tom Nook. And then I would use maybe some of their simple wording and some other parts to see how that design will be before it roughs into like a email blast or even a simple marketing post. Number 30. I have created UI and UX designs like websites, email blasts, and marketing posts. I have learned how to make them work with information I had. Like websites, I've been learning to like them a lot better. At first, they were a little bit difficult because of how much space you might have, but then there would be more because you have to scroll down. So then I look at, oh, there's more layer options that I can use. Maybe more colors. Maybe adding some information that not all websites would use that can work for my designs. But something that was not very successful which there is one assignment that wasn't as successful as what I like. It was that web design prototype for a business that did not have social media, which is the Amish company. that I am talking about that is very local to my town. I just wanted to challenge myself to see if they had one or somebody else could make it. You know, I try to use simple designs by them, like how their culture sees it. Like, they're very old-fashioned. They don't use technology like us, or even use computers or phones. I mean, some might use phones for calling up their boss as they work, but they use those flip phones that only use for calling. So I wanted to challenge myself and say, okay, how would they make it work? I know they're not very trendy. Maybe they only have a few ideas running. And I try to keep it very neutral, like those earthy tones and simple patterns that they might wear, or simple colors. But that's what their cultures are very about. It's very simplistic, but they want to get their job done and be efficient and make sure they're helping their families grow in their lifestyle. But with this assignment, it wasn't that good as I thought. I did needed to correct it, which I tried, and I guess it wasn't good enough as I thought, really. Even though that I thought it was really good to my heart, because it was something that I never thought of, and not a lot of people ever think of, since you never think of, oh, that's kind of odd how you made an Amish place with a website or marketing post. So it was quite interesting, but those are all the questions that I answered in this video. Thank you for listening to my interview questions and answers video.